Hey, what's good, freaks? Welcome to another episode of the GEEKMASTER, where we love all things geek more than hookers love a few lines of cocaine to get the party started. I'm your devilishly charming host, Cassius Samuels, and today I'm gonna hit you guys with a quick news update on some of the DC TV shows that we all know and love. So jumping right in and starting off with Arrow, as you've probably heard by now, earlier this week it was revealed that Colton Haynes will be reprising his role as Roy Arsenal Harper on an upcoming episode of Arrow this season. Following Haynes' departure from the show in season 3, when he faked his death as Arrow to clear Oliver's name, he said that he hoped to come back for guest appearances in the future, but that there were no firm plans at the time. Some fans like myself didn't expect that we'd ever see him again, especially so soon after he was shown to be living a normal life as a car mechanic when Thea Queen tracked him down. But according to the details released earlier this week, it appears the series has just cast Tom Amandes as the Calculator. And for those of you who don't know, the Calculator is basically a criminal mastermind and technical genius who has apparently decided to use his advanced skills in computer science and internet manipulation to blackmail Roy out of retirement to do his bidding, which of course is going to lead to an epic battle with Team Arrow. While all that sounds pretty damn awesome to me, it also makes me wonder what Roy's return to the show ultimately means for the show going forward. As you are all aware by this point that there is a major character death in the works for the show this season, and that this development instantly makes me wonder if Roy could be the one who ends up laying in that grave. To be honest, I think this development narrows it down to two culprits. One of course is Roy, and the other is Thea. The way I see it, there isn't enough room on this show to have two red-hooded vigilantes running around on Team Arrow, and seeing how Roy is kind of a fan favorite, I'm leaning toward thinking it could be Thea dying. I believe this because it's pretty obvious to me that they really don't know what to do with Thea's character, especially if it comes out that she's unable to cure her bloodlust from the Lazarus pit. Either way it goes, I think it's safe to say that things just got a whole lot more interesting for Team Arrow going forward. So, moving on to some Supergirl news. Remember when CBS executives said there would never be a crossover between its Supergirl show and the CW's Arrow or Flash? Well, according to rumors being reported from behind the scenes by none other than Bleeding Cool, it appears that a reliable source has informed them that fans should expect to see Supergirl meet the Flash and the Star Labs crew on her show by May Sweep Sweep, if CBS orders the last episodes of Supergirl this season, that is. Apparently, Greg Berlanti has some kind of contract stipulation which states that if Supergirl was picked up for its final 9 episodes of the season, that a crossover between one of the CW shows was to be included in that 9-episode spread. Obviously, being that we are all supremely intelligent, super smart, brilliant individuals, we should take this kind of news with a grain of salt. But I, for one, think it's a foregone conclusion that these shows should cross over at some point in time. They are all owned by the same network, with a lot of the same people working on them behind the scenes, so from a logistical point of view, it just seems too perfect of a setup not to take advantage of, especially since Supergirl has evidently taken a ratings dive since its record-breaking season premiere. So with that being said, I could definitely see Supergirl showrunners using the Flash multiverse concept to introduce him onto the show, and I look forward to seeing it. If CW could pull off getting John Constantine on Arrow, then I think this is definitely possible. In other Supergirl news, according to a report being made by TV Line, the show will introduce Clark Kent in its 13th episode. The only catch is that it'll be Clark Kent as a boy, presumably before he becomes the Man of Steel, considering the character will be introduced via flashbacks that are supposed to establish the cherished bond between him and Kara that has been alluded to on the Supergirl show so far. This news kinda makes me scratch my head a little bit because of the timeline that's already been established on the show. How can flashbacks show Kara interacting with a teenage boy on Krypton when it's common knowledge that Clark left the planet as a baby? How can they use flashbacks to show them bonding on Earth when Kara was trapped in the Phantom Zone during Clark's teenage years and didn't meet her cousin until he was already the Man of Steel? I do have to say though that I think it's a welcome change of pace trying to actually put a face to Superman on the show instead of doing all the cat and mouse shadowy shots from behind bullshit that they've been feeding us so far. But at the same time, I think nobody really cares about watching a teenage Clark bonding with his cousin before they were superheroes, especially after 10 seasons of Smallville. Yes, it would give some definition to their relationship and solidify their connection to one another, being that there are two of the only survivors from the House of L, but I don't think it really adds a great deal of substance to the overall story. Personally, I just want to see Kryptonians battling alien superpower villains who have escaped from the Phantom Zone. But I guess it is what it is, so we'll just have to see. So, moving this merry little news update along, man, let me tell y'all, there have been so many rumors out here surrounding Constantine lately, it's been making my head feel like it wants to blow up. It's hard to pin down if any of them are true, but I felt it was worth mentioning in this news update regardless. According to more sources from Bleeding Cool, it sounded like Constantine might be possibly joining the Legends of Tomorrow cast for 2017, since the CW has already established that the anthology show will rotate its cast with a new mission every year. Which, it sounded very plausible going on. But then Bleeding Cool began to backtrack from this report, saying that yes, Constantine has indeed been discussed to appear on Legends of Tomorrow, but due to some roadblocks being thrown up via DC Comics, it's very unclear whether or not he will actually appear on the show. And you can think about how DC has kept throwing down these embargoes on their characters appearing on TV, like with Superman, Batman, Suicide Squad, etc. So it's really not outside the realm of possibility that would be putting an embargo on Constantine as well, considering that they might be thinking about doing the Justice League Dark movie in the future. But then they also reported from, Bleeding Cool also reported from another well-connected source of theirs that said Legends of Tomorrow is not even guaranteed at this point to get a second season due to how incredibly expensive it is to produce the show, and that they are actually considering replacing it with a totally different show at this time. So like I said, at this point, I really don't know what the fuck is going on with all that. I think it's highly unlikely Constantine will be available for Legends of Tomorrow or for another mainstream TV show if Warner Brothers decides to move forward on the Justice League Dark movie that's been rumored in development for the last year or so. But as far as the Legends of Tomorrow not getting a second season, I guess only time will tell. But I can definitely see the production cost playing a big factor in whether or not it does come back, since it definitely has a budget that is easily 2 or 3 times as much as its other shows. But I would think profits would be enough to justify it coming back. I don't know. I don't work for the show. I don't know the numbers or anything like that. So, like I said, I have no fucking clue. I don't know, but I will definitely keep my eyes and ears open for any news that can shed some more light on the situation going forward. And last but not least, we have news of a new trailer for Batman vs. Superman coming out with the mid-season finale of Gotham on Monday, November 30th, 2015. Evidently, with the Captain America Civil War trailer arriving earlier this week on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, comic book movie fans are hungry for a new look at the other big superhero battle coming in 2016. Understandably, with the movie just a few months away, fans want to see more, and it looks like they're going to finally be getting their wish next week. It is worth noting at this point, though, that we don't know if it's actually a new trailer for The Dawn of Justice or just some kind of look behind the scenes with new footage from the movie. But either way it shakes out, evidently fans will definitely get to see something on Monday. I personally think it's a marketing strategy that they hope will get people to sit through Gotham since it's turned out to be such a piece of shit show, but that's just me. Maybe they missed the memo or something, and maybe they don't realize that since we live in the world of the internet, many people will probably just wait until the footage is online and watch it then. So, take that. But anyway, what did you guys think? Are you geeked to see Roy come back to Arrow? Are you excited for the potential Supergirl Flash crossover? What about Teenage Clark being cast for Supergirl? Let me know your thoughts on the matter down in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video to show your boy some love. Subscribe to the channel so you don't have to miss any videos that I publish on YouTube. And follow me on Facebook at the GEEKMASTER. Until next time, my nerdy brethren, I'm out this bitch like a thief in the night. Peace!